Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Jason Mackey's First 10, a quick hit podcast to get you ready for the day. Today is Friday, July 26th, and it is the Q&A version that is typical of this day of the week. We'll jump right into it. First, want to remind you, though, that we're sponsored by the North Shore Tavern. You don't have to be a baseball fan to love it there. The interior is wall-to-wall Pirates. There are appetizers, entrees, cocktails, and, of course, steak and seafood on a sizzling lava stone. Open every day. The North Shore Tavern across from PNC Park is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. So thank you, as always, for all of the wonderful questions here. Going to get to as many as possible. We'll see. Was asked by Adam at AK100-892, would any of these quad A players the Pirates have that are blocked like Peguero, Bay, and others have trade value? Yes, I would argue, Adam, that they do. I got another question here a little bit earlier on Liover Peguero. Trying to find who it was, but I'm missing it. In any case, it was, why haven't they called up Liover Peguero? Well, he's hitting 700. That would actually get him called up. Has a 700 OPS in AAA, and the person who commented argued that he could play all three infield spots. Don't know about his availability at third, but shortstop, second base, yes. G1 Bay could be with the major league team right now. He's on the taxi squad. I would be stunned if that's not the move for Brian Reynolds going on the bereavement list, but very much a possibility that those guys get moved. They would make a lot of sense. I'm not sure how they fit with the major league club. Moving on a little bit. When 25, 30 teams have a winning percentage over 450, why does Pittsburgh media keep spewing hypotheticals about getting Robert Jr., Vlad, Rooker, Chisholm, Crochet, etc.? Can't we all accept it'll be someone less than stellar like a Pham, Andujar, and Winker? Well, all right. So one, I think I've been pretty consistently saying I think they're going to add a bat, but I don't think it's going to be somebody that knocks your socks off. Would certainly fall into that second category. I can't answer for why those other guys have been talked about as much, other than the Pirates like Jazz Chisholm is connected by multiple outlets that's somebody the Pirates have checked on. So that's probably why it's being discussed. I would be stunned if they wound up getting Miguel Andujar, given what they did this offseason. Pham and Winker just make sense. And I know that's why can't we accept it'll be someone less than stellar like a Pham or a Winker. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think people here would be that upset if that's who the Pirates added. Maybe you want Jazz Chisholm Jr. I don't know. I could certainly understand the reasoning for it, but if the Pirates went with more of a pure rental, I think I'd be okay with that too. We'll see. With Jared Triolo being the worst options in the league at the plate, why are the Pirates? There it is. There's the Liover Peguero question from Matt at Lays Dog. Thank you very much. What else do we have? This was a good one. Jake at Jitsburg. Good handle. What's your preferred Pirates target? I'd love to get Robert and a Rosarena, even though it's super unlikely. Yeah, Rosarena is definitely unlikely. Rosarena is definitely unlikely, given what we saw last night with him going to the Mariners. Robert's probably not going to happen. I'd find that extremely surprising, just because of the acquisition cost. One of the guys I thought made a lot of sense for them, and I still do, is JJ Bleday. I don't think it would cost a ton of money. I think there's some defense in there, and it probably fits what they like to do. I understand the Brent Rooker stuff. I do. But the right-handed bat and the lack of defense, he's a DH. He's a DH. And if your outfield is Brian Reynolds, Jack Sawinski, and Brent Rooker, I don't love that. And I think that doesn't necessarily square with how they do things either. Right, wrong, or indifferent. They have a type. They want somebody who can play a pretty good defensive center field. And I think they value defensive metrics quite a bit, i.e., Austin Hedges, Michael A. Taylor, etc. And I'm not trying to throw water on the Brent Rooker thing, because believe me, they need the bat. And I think that makes a lot of sense, but I have a tough time seeing it fit with what they've done in the past. And that gets to another question. What's the percentage chance of Brent Rooker being a Pirate? How likely is that going to Cardinals, Brewers? Yelich is injured. I can't speak for those two other teams. And that is at I am Jeff 3, some other stuff there. But I think it depends on acquisition cost. If they can get a pretty good deal on it, there's an acknowledgement or understanding that the bat is really good. but there's just some defensive deficiencies. And it might be as simple as if you get Rooker and you're going to have to play him in right if you're going to DH Kutch, the solution might be to have a really good defensive center fielder. It actually makes me think a little bit differently about Michael A. Taylor, to be honest with you. But that's probably another discussion, and just finding playing time for him, what happens to Jack Sawinski, yada, yada, yada. There's a trickle down. So I think it just depends on what I'm paying to get that bat. If I'm paying a lot, I don't know. If that's the only move, I don't know. But there's some outside considerations there. All right. Rough seas, just a statement. Ben better get another bat or I'm going to freak out. I think that's a common sentiment. And I get asked this a lot, moving up to the next one. Gio asks, what's the realistic percentage the Pirates make a trade? I think it's very high, to be honest with you. I do think the Pirates will do something. I think they need to do something, and I think they know they need to do something. But again, it's a matter of the quality, the fit, how that player works out in Pittsburgh, all that stuff. So, all right, going to get through to some more questions on the other side of a break. But first, our usual message from the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Welcome back to First 10. Happy Friday to you. A few more questions here before we get going for the weekend. A few different comments about Jazz Chisholm. Cue that. So my mind is on Jazz Chisholm Jr. Certainly get that. I don't hate the acquisition. I think that would make a lot of sense for them. You read and hear things about Jazz Chisholm and the personality, kind of the way he acts. I don't know. To me, Derek Shelton should be able to handle that type of personality. I think he could. They've got another, guys with off-field baggage. That's different. I'm not going to put him in the same category as, what happened with Aroldis Chapman or something like that, which, is a while ago and not a discussion necessarily for now. But, I do think there's probably some, how's this guy going to fit into the clubhouse questions. But from a baseball standpoint, makes a lot of sense. Guy that can go get it in the outfield, can run, a little bit of power, that sort of stuff. I like that a lot. So anyway, Biggie's nephew asks, who do you think the Pirates target? I've seen a lot of people link us to Jazz. Yeah. So that basically there. I've got a sneaky suspicion, though, and this happens a lot covering the Pirates, that we haven't heard the name that they're going to actually go out and get. Or if we do, it has been badly underplayed. They always seem to, those of us in the media can posit, oh, this makes sense, or there's a link here, a link there, and they come up with something totally different. So there's that in the back of my mind too, that we might just be all surprised by that. And maybe this will be the addition. I like this question. Stats and that asks, it's so cool to Kutch is back on a competitive Pirates team. Agree, by the way. Who's one player you would pluck from 13, 14, or 15 to add to this team, whether it's because that specifically helped the 24 team or because you wish they had a second shot at this, like Kutch? This was a tough one, and I don't know if I still feel super confident on this answer. And this is not my answer, Pedro Alvarez, but part of me thought about it. Like, you need a bat. Brian Hayes isn't doing a ton. Would you take Pedro Alvarez right now? Defense and all, defensive deficiencies and all. I don't think I would do that, but I did think about it from the power bat standpoint. I think Marte would probably be my ad. What do you guys think? I don't know. Feel free to comment on Twitter. But I should have put a banner ad here, not even thinking about it. But I think it would be Marte. It would plug the outfield hole pretty darn good. I think he would fit defensively with that group. I'd play him in center, to be honest with you. But there's some other options there for sure. Yeah, it's Garrett Jones. I don't know. Probably not Garrett Jones. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But Neil Walker, give him another shot at this thing. He wouldn't mind. It'd be fun to have around. But yeah, I think it would ultimately be Marte. All right, let me get to one or two more before we get going for the day. Do you believe in Calvin Austin to be the Steelers' second wide receiver? Thank you so much, Carson. at CA Waffles for asking a non-Pirates question. Unfortunately, no. I would say that I don't. I think Calvin Austin can have a role in the Steelers offense. Van Jefferson actually looked really good in the first day of Steelers camp. I was out there yesterday, caught a long touchdown pass from Justin Fields. Maybe you've seen it on social media. If I had to pick one right now, that would probably be my guy. I still don't think that they're finished adding to that room. I just think there's been too much interest, but I think Calvin Austin can play an important part of this team. I just don't know if I see him as wide receiver 2 at this point. So what else do we have here? Oh, let's finish with this. I like it. It's not necessarily a question, but a comment. It's one I agree with. Hey, PGH at McCafferty67287 says Bucks are front and center about all the Pirates questions. However, I think Sid's contract announcement will be on August 7th. We've made it this long. For a long time, Sid's cap hit was $8.7 million. Not that much longer to go until August 7th. We'll see if it happens. All right, make sure you like and subscribe. You can get this video and all kinds of stuff from our other Post-Gazette writers and columnists. A bunch of stuff happening out at Steelers camp. Pirates are starting a series against the Diamondbacks this weekend. I'll be back here on Monday morning to talk to you. Thank you all for watching First Down.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.